Hello. Two things. First of all, I don't care. I'm aware I have a bunch of 7-Up boxes back here. If you are concerned about that, please leave a comment and maybe I'll subscribe to your newsletter, How to Care About Irrelevant Crap. Be quiet. I don't care. I'm irritated right now and I'm pissed. Man, and number two, I'm a weeb. You don't need to tell me. I'm fully aware. I embrace it. I don't care if you have a problem with it. That all said, hi, I'm going to rant about swords right now because I have lots of opinions about swords. I just watched one of those videos that someone always makes one of these, like every 2 years it seems like. Knight versus samurai. And every time I see one of these videos, it's always the knight, plate mail, with either a long sword, a claymore, a broadsword, a Zweihander, something like that. The samurai dude is always wearing not quite the most expensive, but still fairly traditional samurai armor, and they're always using some form of a katana or a tachi. Here's the thing that pisses me off about every single one of those videos. The weapon choice is wrong, first of all, and then the weapons that are chosen are used improperly. When I see a video like this, if I see a knight and he's going to be fighting someone else in armor, if I was a knight, you know what weapon I would not choose to go up against samurai armor? A sword. I wouldn't choose a bladed weapon in the first place. They're armored. Do you know what happens if you try to cut or slash against armor? Nothing. Because it's armor. That's why you have tanto knives. That's why the knights have dirks and sword breakers and that sort of thing to get through the parts of the armor so they can actually stab into somebody. But for the knight, it's like, where's your mace? Where's your maul? Where's your war hammer? A pike even would be better. And again, samurai are always shown using a sword, the side arm, the last resort weapon. It's like, where's the gun? Where's the culverin? Where's the yoichi? Where's the bow and arrow? Frickin'. And where's the spear? Where's the yari? Where's the frickin' that old samurai policing tool where it has like two prongs on the end of it, and they used to just kind of press it into someone's clothing and twist it around and then pull them to the ground. I never see anyone using that. This is the only thing they ever use is this, and they use it wrong. What do I mean by that? There's this notion that everyone has, that most people are aware of. A samurai's sword was like their soul. This is like your soul outside of yourself. And so people think, obviously, you got to take care of the sword. And here is the big thing that no one seems to understand. This is the sword. This is the saya. This is the sheath. No one seems to understand what this is actually for. It's not just to hold your sword when you're not using it. It's not just to protect the blade. This is also a tool. Maybe you can tell I've used it as a tool. I've shredded the lacquer off this thing in many places. Because I've used it for blocking. I've used it for parrying and practicing and that sort of thing. Friggin', every time I see one of these videos, right? You wanna know what the samurai in the video does? What the hell is this? This is supposed to be attached to you in your obi. This isn't supposed to leave the side of your waist. And more to the point, see how lightweight this is? You see how easy it is to move this hollow magnolia wood to use it to block and parry with. It weighs like almost nothing. You know, one of the wonderful advantage of lacquered freaking magnolia wood is it doesn't break. It doesn't splinter. It doesn't shatter. It will allow a blade to bite into it. It will deform around an edge going into it, and then the wood bites it. When a blade has truly bitten into magnolia wood, which tends to just deform and stay a little gummy more than shattering apart, like some more solid, brittle, crackling, splintering woods tend to do. And once it's in your saya, then you can wrench it out of your opponent's hand and disarm them. That's one of the advantages of the saya over any other type of scabbard or sheath or hilt basket that someone may have on their waist. The saya is a unique tool because of what it's made out of. They're traditionally made of magnolia wood. A traditional, like, this is not a Japanese sword. Let me make that clear. This is a Japanese style sword. But an actual Japanese sword, the saya alone takes, what is it, like 18 months to put the layers of lacquer onto it. It's one of the parts of a Japanese sword that actually takes the longest to make. So yeah, it sucks to damage it and potentially to have to get a new one. But the saya is the saya. This is the sword. This part is where the soul is. You can replace this. You can get new mountings. The metal part of the blade is where the samurai sword soul is intended to lie. So I keep seeing these stupid effing videos. And I'm like, so let me get this straight. You're up against a knight in full plate mail, and before the fight starts, the first thing you do is throw away your advantage? And first of all, you shouldn't even be drawing your sword against plate mail like this in the first place. Like, you go back old school Japan style, they had plenty of attacks using the sword while it's still sheathed. If I was going up against someone in plate mail, I guarantee you, or if I was also heavily armored, I guarantee you the first thing that I would do is I would bait out them swinging. Don't really care how, you bait that out first. However they swing at you, find some way to pull your sword up while it's still right here in your obi. Don't pull it out all the way. But just use the thing in the saya. If you have the edge of the sword hitting the edge of another sword, I know Hollywood likes to glamorize that, but no one in their right mind who actually practices swordsmanship has an intention of smashing the edge of their sword against the edge of another sword. Both swords are going to get dulled, possibly broken or chipped. No one would do that. That's stupid. You want to know a really good way to block something? This thing, the saya. Block an attack with this first. Either you do it here, maybe you have to pull it out completely and overhand block something. Use the wood to block against your opponent with. But either way, you want to keep two hands on your weapon so that after you're done blocking, you, starting with the left hand, you push this forward, guide it with the right hand. Use the butt of your frickin' sword. Push that straight up into his chin. Crush the helmet into your opponent's chin, into your opponent's face, and guess what? You give that another minute and a half, they're taking that helmet off because it's chewing the flesh out of their face. That's how you should start such a fight. You don't take this out of the sheath, leave it in. Use it as a blunting instrument to crush into their armor and block using the saya. When you eventually reach a point where you have to have the sword drawn, don't throw this away. This is a lightweight parrying and disarming tool. Why would you throw it away? I am so tired of these stupid videos. And I'm not even saying a samurai could definitely beat a knight, but what I am asking for is some type of actual fairness that takes into account what this thing can actually do. All I ever see is metal versus metal that completely disregards the functionality of the Magnolia Saya, and it pisses me off. Please stop doing it. Thanks for listening to my stupid, idiotic sword rant. Appreciate you. God bless.